Hello guys, my name is Phil once again. In this video tutorial, I'm going to teach you about loops. So let's begin. Okay, what is a loop? A loop is a programming construct that allows you to execute a loop body repeatedly, iteratively, uh, depending upon the type of the loop, which could be infinite loop or finite loop. The loop body can be executed repeatedly a fixed number of times or can be executed infinitely. Infinite loop is rarely needed except in case where somewhere in the body of the loop a break operator is used to terminate its execution prematurely, like in recursions. The format of while loop uh, consists the while clause, the condition expression, and loop body. It works first by checking the loop condition. If it is calculated to be true, then the loop body is executed. It checks the loop condition again. If it is calculated to be true again, it executes the loop body. It goes back and checks the loop condition again. If it is true, it executes the loop body repeatedly as long as the loop condition or the condition is evaluated to be true. If it is evaluated to be false, then the while loop is terminated. So here the while loop can be terminated because of two reasons. The first one is if the condition is evaluated to false. The second one is if there is a break operator in the loop body. The break operator terminates the execution of the while loop. So here's the loop condition. This loop condition is a Boolean expression that should return a Boolean value true or false. So as I have mentioned before, the break operator enforces the loop to terminate prematurely before it has completed its execution in a natural way. Do while loop is another loop. It's similar to the while loop, but it checks the condition after it executes the loop body. Like this is the format. This is checked. This loop condition is checked after the loop body is executed. So directly this do while dive in to executing this loop body and then checks the loop condition. If this loop condition is true, it executes the loop body again. If this loop condition is false, it terminates the do while. So the difference between while loop and do while loop is do while executes the loop body at least once, but while loop may not execute the loop body even once if the condition is evaluated to be false at the beginning. So do while is sometimes called post-state loop because it checks the condition after it executes the loop body. For loops, it's a little bit complicated loop relative to while and do while loops, but this helps you to solve a more complicated tasks with less codes. It has four elements: A, B, C, D. D is simply the body of the loop. A is initializing block, B is the condition block, and C is the updating block. A helps you to initialize variables which are needed in the condition, and in the updating blocks you can use this variable also in D, which is the body of the loop. So the way this for loop works is, first it initializes variables in initializing block, which is A, and just checks the loop condition in B. If it is true, it executes the body D and go back to C to update the variables initialized in A, which is C. Again, it checks the loop condition in B, and if it is true, again it executes D. Then it goes back to C and updates the variable, and then checks B. If it is false, then it terminates the for loop. For loop can also be infinite loop. The reason why it can be infinite loop is the three elements of for loop: the initial block, the loop condition, and the updating block are optional. Obligatory. It is not mandatory to put the initialization block, the condition block, and the updating block. That's why it's called infinite loop if you put for loop this way. So it executes the loop body infinitely. The continue operator stops the current iteration of the inner loop without terminating the loop, but break operator terminates the iteration of the loop or the inner loop. Foreach loops are extended for loop and is new for C, C++, C Sharp family of languages, but is well known for the VB and PHP programmers. This construct serves to iterate over all elements of an array list or collection of elements. This loop helps you to iterate over all elements of the collection, even if the collection is not indexed. So this is the format for loop. You have to specify a data type for a variable in a collection. So it helps you to pass through all elements of the collection. You can have nested loops. Nested loops are loops located inside another loop. So this is the format for nested loops. You can have innermost loop and outermost loop. This is the innermost loop and this is the outermost loop. This is executed less than this inner loop, or vice versa. This inner loop is executed more times than the outer loop. This is all about loops. Thanks for watching. If you have any question, you can comment down below. Goodbye.